Hello. Okay, we're gonna. Okay, let's welcome. Okay, wait, we got Jenny on.
Okay, let's welcome to the stage the cast of Hazbin Hotel, Joel Perez and Krystina Alabado. Hi, wow, thank you.
Oh my god. What a great announcer.
Wow, who's that announcer? He's so hot. Hi everyone.
Hi.
What's up?
We've never had a panel where we don't have a host.
I know, this is great.
Cool.
We're doing this ourselves.
We are.
I'm Joel Perez.
I'm Krystina Alabado. I voiced Cherr Bomb on Hazbin Hotel.
Yeah, and I voiced Valentino. This is very fun. The show's been out for like a little over a year.
Yeah.
And we've been doing a bunch of conventions, been super duper fun. And what's been your best con memory so far?
My god, well, cons, y'all, at least for me, I didn't even know conventions were a thing, to be totally honest. I didn't go to them when I was younger, and our first convention, I was like, oh my gosh, and it was a really big one in Raleigh, and there had to have been, we had a panel where there were how many people? I'm bad at numbers, thousands of
That's too much.
Actually,
I don't think there were thousands.
I don't think that's too much.
Of people.
That photo was crazy.
There were hundreds.
No, there were definitely at least a
I'm really
thousand.
bad at when people are like, how many gumballs are inside this glass cave? I'm like, 1 million? I can't tell. It could be 5 of them. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Hard to tell.
Okay, it felt like there were thousands of people in this room, which I actually think there were.
Mm-hmm.
And it was I didn't realize how big our the Hazbin Hotel fandom was. Everywhere we go, and I'm sure you feel it too, that you meet someone and it's this thing that you get to connect on, which is your love of the show, and it's really powerful to me. I did not realize how massive the Helliverse is, and for us, the reason my mind is still blown is that we only have season 1 out so far. So I can't imagine what in 5 years from now when we have all these seasons out and we learn more about these characters and get more songs, and I'm so excited. I cannot get over it. I cannot get over it.
Yeah, I want season 2 to come out already.
I know, so bad.
We feel your pain because we feel it. You feel it as well.
Well, we say we so badly want to talk about season 2.
I know.
You have no idea how much I want to know what y'all think about it.
I know.
Truly. Joel, what's your favorite con memory?
My favorite con memory.
Yeah.
Recently, I was at Pine State Expo in Maine, and one of the owners is a tattoo artist, so I got a tattoo.
Oh my god! Wow.
It's my grandmother's name, Buddha, here on my arm. Something I've been wanting forever. And the promoter was like, "Can I give you a tattoo?" And I was like, "No, rando on the street." He's like, "No, that's what I do for a living. I'm a tattoo artist." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Imagine just
That's
randomly
okay.
can I give you my first ever tattoo?
Yeah, I truly thought it was just "Can I just give you a tattoo for fun?" No. But he was like, does it for a living. So okay, he's actually legit. He was still a weirdo.
But I love weirdos.
Exactly. And I'm okay. As long as you're certified, you're a weirdo, that's fine. Because we're all
weirdo?
We're all weirdos.
I am.
I voiced Valentino in Hazbin Hotel. I'm kind of a weirdo.
All right. I think just because we haven't told them in a while, we should tell our what was your audition process for Valentino, and
that's a
also
good story.
did you who in here is anybody in here interested in being a voice actor? Yeah. So I always find it we all have different paths into it, but I'm curious your specific audition process for Valentino.
I'm an actor, so I do theater and TV and film and a lot of commercial voiceover work. I'm fluent in Spanish, so I do a lot of Spanish VO work too. But I live in New York City, so in New York, there's mostly commercial voiceover work. There's a lot of animation that happens in New York. So I auditioned a lot, but never really heard back anything. Truly, for 10 years, auditioning for animated projects, and then never hear anything back. And then a friend of mine, Andrew Butler, is a composer, and he got hired by Viv to write a song on Hell of a Boss. So he wrote the song, The Ballad of Stryker. He's Stryker. So I sing on that song. So I'm one of the imps that's and then at the very end, there's an imp at the end, he's Stryker, ripping at the end. So that was me. And what's funny is that I had heard of Hazbin Hotel because in 2020, during the pandemic lockdown, the YouTube algorithm brought me the Hazbin Hotel pilot, and I was like, musical theater and religious trauma, sign me up. I was like, that's my jam. I was like, I love this. And I was like, this is so interesting. I thought the art style was so interesting, the music was cool, and I just thought, as a lover of animation myself, I just thought like, I love that this is just an indie animated project that's done with love, and it's a cool story and reminiscent of these like golden era Disney movies, but it's so subversive and they're like demons, and it's so cool. And so I was in the back of my brain, I was like, this is such a cool project, I hope something happens with it. So then when Andrew reached out to me about Hell of a Boss, I knew about Hell of a Boss because then after watching the Hazbin pilot, I started following Vic. And so when he was like, I'm doing the show Hell of a Boss, and I was like, yes, I would love to do it. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I want to do it. So then we did the session, and I did that silly riff at the end that was kind of improvised, and Viv was like, you're really funny, are you an actor? Because I was just singing on that track. She was like, are you an actor? I was like, yeah. She was like, actually, we need someone to voice a character on this episode that we haven't cast yet. So I voiced, on that episode, like Luna is getting a shot from a doctor, like a little goat doctor. So then I voiced that goat doctor. He's like, well, you must be treated now. You know? And that was really, really fun. I gave him like a few options. The one that they picked was like the sweet old man, but
I love that voice. I love that.
There was also one that was like, well, it was like Harvey Firestein. It was like, well, you must be too now. So we gave like a bunch of options, and then when it was all done, like we finished the session, because I was a professional. I was just like, here to do my job, of course, yes. You want me to do another take? Cool. No one was like, okay, we're done. I was like, oh my God, I just have to say thank you so much. I love you guys so much. I've been wanting to do animation for so long. It's my first job. Like, thank you. I was like gushing. And then after that session was then Viv was like, he was really fun to work with. She wanted to make sure that I auditioned for Hazbin Hotel.
It's all about
because
networking, y'all.
They were still having trouble casting the role for whatever reason. I know why, because the shows.
Your material's really complicated.
Yeah, Val's stuff is really complicated, or like I liked finding the like funny about him and the charm and the silliness. Like, there's another world where Val is just like evil the whole time, just like terrible, and I just find that to be a little less interesting as a character.
Yeah.
And actually, when I was auditioning for Hazbin Hotel, Krystina and I were in a musical together, Mystic Pizza. We were doing it at a Gunkwit Playhouse in Maine, and I was like, Krystina, I got an audition for Hazbin Hotel. Can you help me with the audition?
Yeah, I helped him.
You like coached me on it.
Well, and I hadn't booked it yet. I had auditioned because the auditions.
Yeah, what was your process?
Yeah, my process was that in the animation world, we with our agents, I'm auditioning for sometimes like 5 animations a week or 5 roles a week. So it's a lot. The volume is really high. When you have an agent, I love my animation agent. She's amazing. And so Hazbin had come into my inbox, and I was like, wow, this is great. It includes singing. Each character that we got, I auditioned for Nifty, Vaggie, and Cherry. So all 3. And I got a little thing. I had never heard of Hazbin Hotel, but I got a little picture of Cherry Bomb and a description, and then each of us had to sing a song in accordance to the character, so Viv could hear our voices. So I had to sing Joan Jett. What was? Oh God, I can't remember the song now. Was it? I'll think about it. I'll remember it. But we had to each sing a song in the voice of the character and then do sides. And mine said Australian, demon, she's badass, she has her best friend, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, this girl is my girl. And I remember connecting super hardcore to Cherry. And Australian is my favorite accent to kind of like mess around with my friends, specifically Joel with. We love to speak in an Australian accent together.
Here's the thing, I'm actually Australian.
Yeah, we actually are.
I just pretend to be Puerto Rican.
Exactly. But we've been doing that for years, and so I was like, perfect. So I sent in those auditions, and we don't hear anything for a very long time. So I had sent mine in, and I figured I didn't book it, and then he got his when we were in Maine, and I was like, okay. Because I had been doing animation a while before that, and I always tell my friends, go for it. Don't hold back when you're auditioning for animation, because it requires busting past the microphone so that you all feel these performances like you do. We can't sit back. We have to be on it, and we have to connect like actors, right? We're not just making voices. I'm doing scene work. even though it's with somebody that's not there. So I kind of like gave Joel a couple things, and I was like, just go for it, do something crazy, like
Yeah, it was crazy.
don't hold back, just do it, like do something wild. And please tell them what you did, because I love what you did with that song.
Oh, so then the song I had to sing is Valentino. The audition was pretty much the first scene that you meet Val when he's like trashing the place, trashing his apartment. And then the song I had to sing was Sway, which is this like by the Michael Bublé version of Sway.
Do you know what that is?
Which is like, make me sway. I don't even know the lyrics anymore. But I sort of like made fun of the song the whole time I was singing it. I was like, you want me to sing Michael Bublé? This guy sucks, whatever.
But you kind of got to take liberties and just like try stuff out, because they listen to so many auditions out all day. And imagine your ear if you're hearing over and over again, which is why it's so cool to know when you book something that like Viv in this case, or whoever's listening, was listening, and then the minute that they hear you, they go, that's it. But it's like, you know, it's this magical thing that happens, and I'm just grateful every day that we're here.
I know, it's like such a cool job and a great show. Like I'd be a fan even if I wasn't in it.
Oh, same.
Like this is so cool.
Yeah.
This,
We have a
the world
question.
building. Let's take some questions.
Yeah.
So do you guys prefer like more like doing the musical show aspect, or like the animated like voice aspect?
Yeah. Do we prefer doing more the voice acting or the musical part? It's funny, I've been doing VA voice acting for a long time, and I have not sung yet. I had not sung until I sing on the finale in Hazbin Hotel. That's the only thing Cherr Bomb sings on in season 1. Excited for season 2. But in season 1, I didn't experience making Cherr Bomb's singing voice quite yet. And that's a totally new thing too. Like you create their voice and you're speaking, and then you're like, wow, how do I transition this into, what is her singing voice going to be? Which is a really cool process as well. But I kind of like both of them, and what's cool with Sam and Andrew, our composers, is that we get the music and we learn it before we go into the studio. And I was the last one to record the finale song in season 1. And so I've heard everybody's voices in my ears. Because if you're first, you're alone, and it's just you and the track. But as you go in and there's more and more voices on it, I got to record with everybody in my ears, which was really exciting. Because at that point, I didn't know who anybody was yet, other than Erica, because Erica and I were best friends for a long time before, and then I knew Joel booked it because we were friends too. But I was like, who are all these voices? Oh my God, I think I recognize that person. Oh, I wonder who that is. And it was really exciting. You didn't sing much. Did you sing much?
I just sang in the finale too.
Finale, yeah.
Just in the first season.
Yeah.
But stay tuned for season 2.
Stay tuned. Season 2.
But your question, was that about like the show, or just like doing musical theater and then VA stuff?
Oh, I thought you meant on the show.
No, but that's great. But I think like animation stuff is so different because like you don't have to, first of all, you don't have to memorize your lines. Like they're just in front of you the whole time. It's great. It's so nice. I just gotta, like I show up and like, what am I reading today? Okay.
Exactly.
And you get to sort of like really invest in it, like so intensely for that time when you're recording it, and then you just let it go. Like then I go home and I never think about it, and then the show happens, it comes out 2 years later, I'm like, wow, I said all this crazy shit on that show? It's crazy. Whereas when we're doing a musical, like you do it 8 times a week, that's usually the schedule, and you have to, depending on the run, if it's a Broadway thing, it might be a whole year or even longer. If you're doing a tour, it's longer. So you're sort of constantly having to reinvest and redo the show over and over again. So that's a different kind of challenge to like keep it fresh and fun, and then just also just really physically exhausting. Like especially musical theater, if it's a big dance show, you're like doing cardio for like 2.5 hours, and you're just like, I'm tired, my body hurts.
Yeah, I think one of the weird things about animation is that we, thank God for these conventions, because we can finish. We can do 3 episodes in an hour session. Like it's a very fast job when you're actually recording what you guys hear. All that other work is from the animators and all the people creating the world that you get to see. So it's a fast job in that way, which is why these cons have been so cool, because I feel so connected to our show while we're waiting for these seasons to come out, which I hope you all feel too. I know it's so frustrating waiting, but what a great gift that we're all given, that we can connect with each other while we wait.
And I think like when you're doing a show too, a musical or theater, you work with your castmates. Like you're on stage together, you're backstage together, you get to hang out, like you create a camaraderie and friendship. Whereas with voiceover work, we record it by ourselves. Yeah. It's us and a voice director, And our voice director is Richard Horvitz. He's like the voice of Invader Zim and Angry Beavers and Bill and Mandy.
Moxie, yes.
Yeah, he's
Sorry.
Moxie in the Helliverse. So like, I remember when I did my first session, I was like, am I talking to Invader Zim right now?
I know, that's how I felt. I
was
was
like, am I
starstruck.
acting with Invader Zim right now? This is crazy.
I was starstruck.
Yeah. So in that aspect is different because you don't get to create the same kind of like family
Yeah.
community.
But we have now.
Yeah, now we get to hang out.
Because of the con.
And some of us knew each other beforehand,
We
just
did.
doing theater in New York.
Yeah. You had a question over here, right?
I was wondering if you could tell us if Cherr Bomb and Serpentius get to meet up again.
You know I can't tell you the answer to that.
You're gonna have to tune in and
You
find
will.
out.
I will say I love Cherry Snake as a viewer, so we shall see what happens. I also like Cherr Bomb. I saw that one too. Miss Bomb. What's funny?
To have a sex with me.
But we'll see what happens. I'm super pumped for season 2, and I also think it's so funny now when people come up to us at our booths and say like, "What do you think's going to happen when Cherry, realizes Serpentius is redeemed or whatever?" And it's funny, like I can't even answer what I think anymore because I know, right? So it's like my opinion is no longer valid because I have too much information. But I'm super excited for y'all to see what happens.
Yeah, wrote it down.
Oh, nice. That's smart.
What's your favorite like line of your characters in the show?
Mhm. Mine is not off camera. You're not.
And
Because that's the
mine-
new. That's what she said.
Yeah, that is. I mean, I have to go with "What up, hoes?" Like I loved that line. I think it's the perfect like "Hello, I have arrived." But I also like
That's a great entrance line.
"What up, hoes?" Yeah. And then also some things that I truly don't even remember saying that people like me to write on their when I sign their thing is. Do we have any? Language. None of my lines I can say without.
I know that's the thing too.
people
It's so
bleeping.
inappropriate.
Eat shrapnel, mother. Yeah, when I yell that, I didn't even remember saying that.
Yeah.
And I think that's such a funny line. I can't say it right now, just in case there's young ones on to be off.
Right?
Do you have any advice for a nervous soul considering going into theater?
A nervous soul. Any
Going into
advice
theater.
for a nervous soul considering going into theater?
I need this.
Yeah.
I love this question. I think it's the best thing you can do for yourself is to push yourself to try and to try to be on stage and bust past your the fear of that. I think also as stage actors, both Joel and I have been on Broadway, we've been in national tours, we've done theater at a very high level, and I still get nervous and I still get anxious and I get worried I'm gonna forget my lines and I get worried that people are gonna think I'm bad and I get worried I'm gonna crack on a note. That doesn't really go away unless I guess you don't experience that, but I've not met
Unless you're
many
taking
actors.
drugs
Yeah,
that
truly.
make you totally calm.
I've never met an actor that doesn't battle that. So it may feel and will continue to feel overwhelming, and it does for me sometimes. But I think what makes me proud of myself is sort of saying, what's the worst that's going to happen? The worst thing that could happen is I'm going to forget my lines. And you know what? The world will continue turning, and we'll get back on, and I have forgotten lines on stage. But I think that doing the theater from a young age helped me. I'm 35 now, and I think doing that at the time helped me get less nervous about things and less anxious and got me used to social interactions in a way that I was uncomfortable with at a young age and things. So I think it can do nothing but help you, even if it feels really, really hard to start. And just remember, if something goes wrong, that's all right. It's okay. That's how I feel. You gotta just kind of let it go. How about you?
I also just think a career in theater or any kind of artist is like an exercise in empathy. Like you're just constantly putting yourself in someone else's shoes. And I think you just realize that we're all so much more similar than we are different. And it just makes you a better human being. Whether you decide to go and do it professionally or not, I think you just are in the world as a more aware and empathic person, which we just need more of, especially nowadays.
Yeah, and I think also stage, what's nice about it, especially now when we all are always on our devices and we feel kind of in this insular place, there's something about connecting with people on stage, or even here when you meet somebody at a con and you're just having a conversation face to face, it can do nothing but help us continue to make sure that our humanity and empathy is first, right? Always. Yeah. And so I think I always can encourage young people, you don't have to want to do this for a living. You could be the worst singer ever. You could be, but just connect and do something else, and just to try something scary, I think is a good thing.
I agree.
From what we can tell, you both have a lot of passion and love for your work. What is the hardest part about your job? Not only being a voice actor, but also being just an actor in general, you know, having to perform in front of thousands of people, and then even with the voice acting, having to try and keep kind of in character and locked in. What is the hardest part?
Great question.
Yeah, what is the hardest part of our jobs as actors? I'll say, for me, I don't come from a family that can like support me financially, so I had to make it work. Like, and that I think is the hardest thing is there's peaks and valleys. Sometimes you're like working at some years that are great. You're catching us in a good year. You're like, Hazbin is popping off. You're like, this is great. It's not always like that. And in fact, it wasn't like that like a year and a half ago. So you have to be okay with the sort of like ebb and flow of opportunities, and you kind of have to just like really, it's like a little delusional, but I think you just gotta like believe in yourself so much more than anybody else does, because there's so many things that are out of your control. There's so many opportunities that you think like, I'm perfect for this job, and then actually you're too tall because we already cast the other person and they're shorter than you, and you wouldn't match on camera, and you're sort of like, what? Like, I didn't get it because I'm too tall. Like, I can't change that. But that's an unfortunate part of the business where there's a lot of stuff that's just out of your control. So, but the things that are in your control, just focusing on that.
Yeah, the rejection is something that you kind of get used to. I think I tell young people
It
starting
still
this.
sucks.
It
though.
sucks.
It
and
still
that's the thing.
sucks, even now.
It sucks, and what I say about it is really that the further along you get, actually, the more you experience rejection, because as you sort of move up in like where you're working, then you start competing with people at the highest level. So my competition is immensely talented, passionate people, just, you know, like me. And I'm like, wow, I mean, and so I don't get most things that I audition for, like most. And so you get used to the fact that it is part of it, but it does still hurt, and you have to kind of take care of yourself. I think one of the things that is hardest about this is really keeping your mental game focused. And it is okay for it to hurt. Sometimes it's okay to be frustrated, but like Joel said, I also don't come from a family that was able to help me. I had to go, all right, like I gotta figure this out, or I'm not gonna be able, I'm gonna have to go get a different job. And I think it's kind of taught me about resilience and taught me about persistence in a way that is really, I mean, helps me in all aspects of my life.
Well, and it's also like, it's not just voice acting.
Yeah.
Or you'll see that there's a lot of actors who don't just do voice acting. Like, we do voice acting, we're on camera, we're doing theater, like, you're kind of doing a bunch of different things to like, frankly, make a living. And then also be cool with like, for example, I auditioned, there's like a newer Dora the Explorer, right, that's out. And there was some character that was like a toucan who sings. So I was like, I got that in the bag. And then I have a friend who writes on the show, and I was like, hey, I auditioned for that thing. I think I'm really perfect for it. She's like, oh, Ricky Martin is doing it. I was competing with Ricky Martin. I'm not gonna get that job. Like, come on, Ricky Martin. Also, Ricky Martin is doing Dora the Explorer. Damn, it's tough out here. But that stuff that's like, you know, it's like you can't take that personally. You're just like, all right, cool, on to the next one. Okay.
If you had to switch parts with one cast member, who would it be and why? Also, as a musical theater nerd, I need to know, do y'all have a dream role?
Ooh, good question. Character that we would switch roles with in Hazbin, and then if there's any musical theater dream roles we have.
Honestly, Sir Punches. I can't do
My
the Sir
answer.
Punches
I want to do Sir
voice.
Punches too.
I can't do his voice at all. Like, I can't even try it. It's so bad.
You
But
can try it. No, it's bad. That's bad.
I can't. We have people that can really do it well in our cast, and I am not one of them.
Bomb. I have to work on it.
That's
Damn
no.
it.
I just like love him, and I just like want to know. Like, I just think he's so funny, and I want to sing.
The things I love about Penchus though is not even his voice. It's like he's constantly in the show in the background, like crying.
I know.
He always has like weepy eyes, like
He's so sensitive.
he's such a sensitive little guy.
I just love him,
So
and
sweet.
he sounds fun to voice.
He's always like so sweet.
My
So
dream role,
dumb.
I mean, my favorite musical is In the Heights, which Joel did.
Mhm.
That was like my dream for a long time. But I mean, there are so many new amazing shows, and I hate being that person that's like, I want to originate something, but I actually do. A lot of the things that we do in theater is create these new musicals. And so I have some great musicals I'm working on that I hope make it to Broadway, because that to me is the dream, is to get something that you work all these years on to a platform that it can be seen by, you know, more people. And Broadway's not the only great thing. There's so many great ways to have experiences in theater. Some of my most prolific artistic experiences have happened regionally, in regional theaters, like in your hometowns and stuff. But, you know, Broadway's such a cool place to have access. You know, I'm doing a show right now about women's rights, and I want it to go to Broadway because that's how it can get the most ears and impact the most people. So, yeah.
I think a dream role of mine is George in Sunday in the Park with George.
I want to do Dot again. I would
Yeah.
love to do
Oh my
that
God, we
with
should do
you.
Are there any producers in the house?
Yeah, anyone wanna produce
Any
Sunday
Broadway
in the Park with
producers in the
George?
audience want to
Yeah.
take us to Broadway? No? Not in Abilene, Texas? No? All right. Okay.
Other questions?
Other than the back.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Broadway musical that you haven't started?
A Broadway musical that we haven't started.
Well, In the Heights for me is my favorite. I love that soundtrack. It was also like the first time I really heard like the music of my people, like in a way that felt like
Oh,
what
so
I
good.
listen to at home. You know,
I love Heights.
so good. What about
I love Sweeney Todd.
you?
Yes.
And the very Sweeney Todd. So good. So
I used to
good.
have this.
Sweeney
I used to have that was just my alarm clock in the
That
morning.
was? That would make you up in the
Yeah,
morning?
that's so chaotic.
Yeah, I thought
It
that
just
was
is like,
that would set, that would not be a good tone for the day.
No, I was like, let's go.
That's terrifying.
I had that for a long time.
Up front here.
Being part of the Helliverse, what is y'all's favorite Hell of a Boss episode, and has it impacted you on a certain way?
Ooh, Hell of a Boss. Favorite Hell of a Boss episode. I love Western Energy because that's the one that I'm in.
No spoilers. I have not watched the show, but there's a reason.
Yeah, shame her.
Yeah, shame me.
Shame.
But no, it's because I don't want to watch random episodes because people are like, you should go watch this or this
No, no,
person
watch
would be
it.
friends with Cherry. I want to start from the beginning
Yeah.
and I want to react and post it on my YouTube. But that requires me having a setup. Like I want to do it right because I really want to do it from the start. So that is my plan. I've said it for a year. People are interested, but I still have yet to do it. But I will. I want to.
If you had to pick a favorite character that isn't yours, who would it be?
You know how I feel about Sir Penches.
We love Penches. We stand Penches. We are a Penches household in my family.
I love Lucifer. I mean, he's so funny to me.
Carmilla, she has knives for feet. What?
I know, it's pretty badass.
Like, what is that? That's so fucking cool.
I also love Charlie. I mean, obviously, like Charlie is our princess of hell, but like she does just like I'm like she's so happy. She kind of feels like me. Like I see myself in her, and I see myself in Cherry. What does that mean? What does that say about me? I'm multifaceted.
Okay.
So, I forgot my question as soon as you called me.
It's okay. Take your time.
So I know you talked about working with Richard. Just earlier, Austin Tyndall was talking about meeting Keith David. I was wondering how it feels working with him, because I know he's another great in the world of acting and voice.
Man,
Prolific.
Keith David. I loved Gargoyles as a kid. So, so good. And so and he's just an incredible actor on camera too. Like he's just and Dr. Facilier, like he's such an icon.
I think it was special. We did our first con with Keith because again, we don't see or we don't really get to hang out with each other. The first time we met each other was the premiere of season 1,
yeah.
and a lot of us had never seen each other. A lot of us know each other from Broadway, but Keith came to the premiere and we got to spend a little time with him. But we got to spend like 3 days with him at a convention. I don't remember where it was.
That was in Salt Lake.
Salt Lake City,
Yeah.
and he was so fun. He wanted to hang out, go to dinner. Like we were just having.
He has
the
the
best
loudest
time.
laugh.
Oh, his laugh.
Like the whole restaurant would be like, what is happening?
You know, talk about not being incognito. I'm like, Keith.
So loud.
What a nice, again, also being like, I'm sitting with Keith
I know.
David right now.
At the premiere, he came to me and he was like, I was wearing this suit and he was like, nice suit, man. And I was like, Keith David likes my suit.
Yeah, so we can start by
Nice
each other.
suit, man.
So we have a couple more minutes, I think.
Back there?
If you could voice act in any other show, what would it be?
Ooh, voice acting in any other show.
I always say Pokemon because Pokemon was my first love animation wise when I was younger.
Same.
I knew I could sing, you know, I could do the whole rap like electric diddly, Mickey,
14?
What?
Pokemon too.
Oh,
You like
nice.
Pokemon? Nice.
I love that. Yeah, so that was I would say if I could, I would want to voice act in Pokemon because that would be
Same.
so fun
Yeah.
for me.
That's kind of why that's kind of what got me into acting was Pokemon. Just like
Really?
voicing all the characters, drawing all of them. My parents would be like, shut up. Shut up. I was like,
Oh my god! I would just sing I would sing the songs.
my voice was much higher
But
when I was a
though
child.
I don't, there are so many new Pokemon. I don't even know. I only
Yeah,
know the
there's a lot of
150.
yeah, no,
gotta
there's a
be
lot
honest.
of there's many new.
Yeah, I don't know the new ones.
It's a whole world. All the way in the back.
Oh, okay. There first, and then you over there.
How would Valentino react to Cherry Bomb if they ever met?
Oh. Ooh. How would you? Oh wait, we can't do that.
I know we really
can't.
can't talk about it. We can't talk about anything because y'all.
How
like,
would they react?
How would they?
Tune in and find out.
Again, those questions are tough now, y'all. We
I
have
know.
too much information.
How would they react? I don't know.
We'll see.
I imagine it wouldn't be very good considering Valentino abuses.
Their bestie?
Yes, that is a
Yeah.
great.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a great. That's very
There was
great.
someone else in the back there? Who was it?
Yeah.
What is your
Favorite
favorite Hellboy character?
Helluva character? Oh. I like Stolas. Because he's so pretty.
I don't know yet,
And
but
she
I'll let
doesn't
you
know.
I'll
Wow.
let you know.
Wow, wow,
I'm
wow,
not gonna
wow.
lie about it.
Wow, 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 wow. Wow.
Well, the guy, like whatever,
Wow.
the goat doctor.
Oh,
This
Or the mariachi imp?
Yeah, exactly.
He's my favorite, actually.
Over here, you.
Okay, so I know someone asked what anime project you would you want to work on. So the different version of that would be if there was like a gaming project you want to work on.
Ooh.
It's so funny. I auditioned for so many video games, and I have yet to book one, but I would love to do that. One of my favorite parts of doing animation is effort day, where we're really doing efforts. If you don't know what an effort it is,
I
it's
hate
when
that
we're like,
day.
or I'm jumping, or I'm hitting someone, or I'm throwing a bomb, and they're like, okay, now you have to throw a bomb, and we'll do like little, medium, and high, like that kind of stuff is so fun for me. I could do that all day, and I know that's a lot of video games too, a lot of video game work. So I'm like, I would love to do truly any video game that anyone wants to hire me on, because it'd be so fun.
I know.
You don't like effort day? Efforts?
Ah, it sucks.
Oh, it's
I'm
so
tired.
fun. It's so
You're
exhausting.
screaming for
Yeah, you
hours.
scream, you're running, you're like,
By the end of the day, I'm like, ugh, I'm so tired.
I know. I can't do a musical after I do a lot of
Yeah.
efforts, but it's fun.
I love what video game would I
don't play video games, so I
like
don't know.
I will be in one. I can't talk about it yet.
You will?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god, how did you book it? Coach me.
I wish I could tell you how. It was very random.
Oh my god, cool.
But I would love to do like a rivals like a Marvel Rivals game or something.
The
It's like-
scene work in video games is unbelievable.
Or like The Last of Us, like
oh
that,
my
that's
god.
like acting.
That
That's
acting
like, that's
is.
like actual. That's
Those
beautiful
voice
stuff.
actors are so good.
Okay.
Who has not asked a question? I just want to get to one, at least one everyone. Yeah, back there. We can't hear you. You can.
What's my relationship with Vox? There you asked. What's Valentino's relationship with Vox? Well, we see them in the finale, and they seem pretty close. They're definitely a little more than friends, I'd say. But what actually is their relationship, you're gonna have to tune in and find out.
I know, it's gonna get boring every time we say. You'll have to see. Okay, we have a couple more men. Let's go. Oh, yeah, let's go over there. You. Yeah.
Do you guys have a date for season 2?
No.
We do not.
No. We hear rumblings, but we can't talk about it.
We do hear rumblings, but it's good
If
for
we
you to
talk
know
about
that
it-
we do hear rumblings.
Here's the thing: if we spoil stuff, agents from Amazon come down from there. They repel from the
They're
ceiling.
watching
They steal
us
away.
right now.
Yeah.
We are as excited about y'all for season 2. We really are. We're really excited for it to come out, and I feel like we're gonna learn information soon. That's my feeling. I don't actually know that for certain, but that's my feeling. Yes, over there.
So, what aspect of your characters in Hazbin do you dislike?
Valentino needs therapy. Valentino needs to talk to somebody, stop taking his frustrations out on other people. He needs to be a bit more emotionally mature. Okay. He's what? He needs to get out of the office and go on a hike. Stop smoking cigarettes. Come on.
I feel like Cherry, at least where we see her in season 1, can be like a little bit enabling.
She's definitely an enabler.
She's a fucking patty girl. So, but I think, yeah, I mean, I would like to see Cherry, maybe Cherry needs to just like, listen a little.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I wonder what would happen if she, but what I love about her is that she's like, I'm doing my thing. You don't have to do it with me, but I'm doing it, which I've always loved about her. So it's not even about like, I mean, she gives a little pressure to him at the sex club, but I do think that she means really well and she's super loyal. So, yeah, but little enabling.
She has some impulse control.
She does have impulse control
Yeah.
issues. I think a lot of people on the show do.
Yeah, everyone. They're all in fact in hell.
Yes, we are in hell for a reason. So.
They both got some problems. I'd say.
Yeah.
So, do you feel like you influenced your characters a lot, or do you feel like in some ways as you played them, through season 1, that they've influenced you?
Ooh.
I mean, just saying with Valentino alone, I see the chain on your neck, and he's got the whole chain. Like, are we pimping, dog?
I mean, I've been pimping.
Yeah.
This isn't new for me. I would say though that like a real practical way that my experience informed Valentino was that in the original script he didn't speak any Spanish and he didn't have like an accent at all. That was just because
So you made them all Puerto Rican.
I made him Puerto Rican because well the first scene is like him being pissed, right, and like throwing shit around, and then they were like, all right, Joel, just do a take where like I don't know, improvise him being angry. So I started talking in Spanish because when I'm angry I talk in Spanish sometimes. And then Viv was like, wait, I like that. Do that again, like do that. So then that first day we recorded Valentino, there's like one whole take where there's no Spanish and no accent or anything. Then another take that had the Spanish and the accent. And so then after, as we continued to record during the season, they were like really like him sort of popping in and out of the accent and how that texture, so then let's keep that. So that was cool to be like, that was something I could bring to the character that wasn't there. And I will say, like, he's so horrendous, and it is one of my favorite things about acting is that like you sort of have a safe space to
Truly.
just like explore what that is. Like, so it feels very like like you're just saying all these things that like I would never say in real life, but then it's almost like kind of cathartic to like
I was gonna
say all that shit, and then like when I'm done, I'm like, oh, wow. But now it's recorded forever, so.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Sorry, Mom.
I think like Cherry Bomb, I brought myself to her, but I also brought a yes and quality that I think helped production go and Viv go, oh cool, she's willing to sort of improv however she needs to, and with Cherry in particular, she is chaos, no filter, always. And I was used to I voiced a lot of 6-year-olds on little television, on other shows. This was the first time I really got to go there in a way that I haven't in animation land. And I will say, being in the booth, a couple weeks ago back with Cherry, the way that I am her has changed too from season 1. I've learned more about her, and also the things that come out of my mouth, and the things that I know that she would say now. And Viv always lets us go for runs. She's like, all right, just say whatever you want in this one. The things that were coming out of my mouth a couple weeks ago as Cherry, I was like, oh my god. Yeah,
Oh,
they're
they
all
are
recorded.
They are.
We'll see what they pick.
Oh yeah. Yeah, these characters need our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. That's what they need. They need to go home.
They're a little late for that.
Too late for that.
Too late for that. Or is it? I think we have time for one more question.
Ooh, okay.
Oh my god, who's it gonna be?
Well, you haven't asked one.
What's your favorite musical number in Hazbin Hotel?
Favorite musical number? Oh, I like the reprise of Hell is Forever. When when Emily and Charlie are singing.
Yeah, those
together.
harmonies are
Oh,
hard.
So good.
It's really good.
I remember when we watched that the first time, I was like getting chills. I was like, whoa, this is good. This show's good.
Mine is It Starts with Sorry, because I've never laughed harder in my life. Because it was so unexpected. The show is like on this path, and I didn't know what it was going to be yet, because we didn't see all of season 1 before y'all. We saw the first 2 episodes. And then when I got there, I'm sorry, it was in episode 2, It Starts with Sorry? Or was it episode 1? I don't remember. But it made me laugh. And then the finale, he did it for us. It makes me cry. Like,
Yeah.
I just like, the show is so brilliant in that way that like 1 minute we're like, what are these crazy people saying? The raunchiness. And then it hits you really
it's really
hard.
hard. Mhm.
And so I think that's what I love about the music too, is Sam and Andrew do such a good job really like writing and making you feel something. And you're like, how am I feeling this way about a bunch of heathens in hell? And I am. Anyway, I think
that's our time,
it
right?
for us. We're gonna be in our booths. Come say hi. We're here for the rest of the day. And
Thank you.
coming
Thanks for
to our
being here.
panel,
Appreciate
y'all.
you.
Yeah, thank you.